I'm KARCENO. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows KARCENO and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Woo! What's up? Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Gosh. Watch the Boston Celtics get every call against Cleveland. Man, I felt bad for the Cavs yesterday. They got screwed. But let's get into this Shaquille O'Neal thing because everybody keeps saying, see, no, enough of Drake. We need to know what's going on here. Forget about Drake. I'm like, all right. Oh, yeah, we got him. We got him. Trust me. We got it. Now, when you sit there and watch execution take place, like a whole new process of the amazement of the theories of what you think may happen and what should happen and all that crap, you got to understand something. Life happens at different times for people, and people go through different motions. And when I sit here and tell people that, man, this is what it was, and this is what took place, and this is what inspired this, I'm saying it from a standpoint of knowing. You know, like I knew how this was going to go. I know how this was going to play out. I knew how the situation was going to move going forward. I knew how they were going to play angles. And when it came to the Shannon Sharpe Shaq situation, these are 2 guys that really don't like each other, period. And it's not really Shannon Sharpe, it's Shaq. Shaq don't like Shannon Sharpe. And this has been going on for the past 7 years. You know, I've been sitting there watching it, and as I watch it, when Shannon first came on Undisputed, and there was an incident on there, it was like his very first season, and Shaq was going into the like Hall of Fame. And while he was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Shannon Sharpe is tearing down basically his career. And it's talking about basically the same thing he's talking about today. Hold on, I'm trying to get this pulled up. Having some resistance. Now, if we look at the scenarios and everything in play, then you start to see what I'm talking about.
But I'm disappointed in his career because I think he left a lot out. But I'm disappointed in his career because I think he left a lot out. He didn't take it serious enough. He didn't put himself. He didn't get himself in the best physical condition that he needed to be in and year out. He was a 52% free throw shooter. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he was 60. That's another 800 points. Mm-hmm. He missed probably 100 games due to various injuries.
He did
a lot because of his weight on his knees and his feet. Now we know big guys have problems because that's a lot of weight.
Now, everything he's saying about Shaq is true. Everything he's saying about Shaquille O'Neal right now is true. But Shaquille O'Neal is not a person that relishes in truth, especially when it's not something that he is in line with. And on his Hall of Fame day, Shannon Sharpe has chosen to take an angle that was quite disrespectful. And I felt like that's unnecessary. If Skip Bayless would have done that let's say it was Kobe Bryant or anybody else Hall of Fame that moment, everybody would have freaked out and said, how you gonna do that and disrespect that man on his Hall of Fame moment? Well, yeah, down the stretch, that's what you want to do, right? Is make sure you deliver. And Shannon Sharpe, what he was doing in fair use act, this is for commentary purposes only. Fair use act, fair use, fair use, fair use. We're giving commentary, not broadcasting the entire episode.
Moving up and down the court, night in and night out, over a 10, 15-year career. But I look back at it, he probably should have had another. I believe he should have won the MVP that Steve Nash stole from him. They gave him that.
I agree. You're correct.
I believe he should have had at least 2 MVPs. Mm-hmm. I believe he should have had another 1 or 2 NBA finals. And when he retired, he should have been the 3rd all-time leading scorer in history, behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone. Mm-hmm. But he underachieved. He's a top 5 big man. I can't put him in front of Kareem. I can't put him in front of Wilt. I can't put him in front of Bill Russell. So right now, at best case, maybe a tie with him and Hakeem Olajuwon. But he can't go in front of those first 3 guys. No way, no how.
Mm. I can't tell you how much I disagree with you. I get your big picture points.
So now, Shannon Sharpe, that was 7 years ago. Shaq was pissed that Shannon Sharpe would do that. So when Shaq made his statements, it was only from a place of, well, we know where this is. Everything started to escalate because Shannon Sharpe reiterated the same point he's always had about Shaquille O'Neal. He kept it 100. But Shaq has very thin skin, and he remembered what you said beforehand. So this thing went way above and beyond. No matter what he thought about it, it's exactly how Shaq felt. He felt attacked. And when Shaq feels attacked, he gonna strike back. That's just, whether he go too far or not, Shaq is gonna do it. Now, Nightcap, Shannon Sharpe show, he responded back to Shaq's tweet that he put out. And let's listen to it.
Ocho, this is something I want to address. Just brought to my attention. Is that Ocho, everyone's family. Okay, Shaq, about the comments that I said last night. Shaq said, "You took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy of Joker shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks." That's not what I did, but anyway. So here's the clickbait for you. If I ain't ranked in the top 10 in your profession, then you can't speak. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you're at. Me jealous sounds like you're jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people in case you forgot. 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, top 75. And to be quite frank, all this success you got still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according I work less, but not blah blah blah. But anyway, love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this ish. Love always. The most dominating big man ever. Never took it serious. Remember, I know you and you know words of Skip Bayless. I'm better than you. Hashtag G14 classification. I have it. You don't. Not in my profession.
Wait, when that happened?
He just about 10 minutes ago.
Wait,
I've never.
Shaq in the chat?
No, he on IG. I've never professed. I've never professed that I was his greatest Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say,
yes, sir.
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now,
yes,
Shaq has been the one to say it. That he didn't work as hard, he didn't train as hard, he didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right, right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash. Now, you guys have heard me speak glowingly. I say Travis Kelce's better tight end than I was. So was Gronk. So was my guy, what's his name? For the Chargers. Antonio Gates, Gonzo, Big Winslow. I'm cool. I got no problem. You know why I got no problem, Ocho, with giving people credit?
Right.
Because I got everything out of my God-given ability. God gave me the ability to do what I could do. But he gave me discipline, he gave me dedication, the way I trained, the way I ate, the way I slept. So this was all I could get.
Right.
Now, I would have felt some type of way if I'd have got these numbers and I half-assed it. But I never half-assed it. Kobe said Shaq should have won and they should have won.
Right.
But my thing is that you can't, and it's like greatest characters. It's Shaq, I'm the greatest character. No, am I a top 100 player? No. Am I the equivalent as a football player as Shaq was as a basketball player? No. But what I did do is that I maximized that. And my question, if Shaq, and yeah, because it's rough on the back. My question is, do you believe that you gave everything you possibly could in basketball? Did you train the way you should have? Did you eat the way you should have? That just goes to show you how great you was. Is that you didn't, you allowed your weight to get out of control. The injury started to creep up and you got 4 rings and you got 3 finals MVP.
See, I'm mad, man. I wish I understood.
Why you mad?
I wish I understood goddamn basketball. So when you talking about Shaq, especially during that time, think about this. If I don't know basketball now, the way I should, the way you do, like what you telling me right now, it's like I'm trying to process the shit.
Think about it.
But I can't because I wasn't watching back then.
Think about it, Ocho. He's the most dominant big man in the history of the game.
I know that much, yes.
And he got 1 MVP.
So
now, as you can see, this was going to another level no matter what. It got to the point where Shaq put out a diss record on Shannon Sharpe. But what Shannon Sharpe didn't read, where he said, et cetera, et cetera. He said, I know what you did to get where you are. Don't forget that. And everybody starts scratching their head. What did Shaq mean when he said that? Oh, man, he know y'all thinking that, Shannon was bending over and getting smashed in the back and all that. What he mean was, I know how you got your success. We all do. Shannon's not alien to it. Shannon often talked about how he got to where he's at now. His creation of the Unk character, smoking Black and Miles, drinking yak. Shannon got probably about 7% body fat. Ain't no way in hell Shannon Sharpe is drinking like he drinking and smoking like he smoking. That's not going to happen. Shannon Sharpe is one of the most fit athletes and have been fit for years. Still one of the most strongest human beings you've ever seen. And he ain't to be played with. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. Shaquille O'Neal and Shannon Sharpe should never be beefing. at all. So what Shaq is alluding to is the Unc character. In his mind, that Unc character is who Shannon Sharpe is, and how dare you speak on me? My numbers is this and that. But to me, Shaq's career is that. The man got swept 3 straight times with Penny Hardaway, eliminated out of the playoffs, and what considerably to be his early stage primes of his career. They gave him the keys to the league when he came in 92. By the time 95 came, Shaq should have been more established. He was already all-star, but he just couldn't get that, that nudge. And once they got Penny, they started to go to the playoffs for the first time and make some noise. And they lost and got swept by Indiana. Then they went to the next year. In Penny's second NBA season, they go to the NBA Finals. This is Penny Hardaway on the team with Shaq. So Penny comes in and is like one of the most dominant players in the NBA. Shaq is jealous of Penny. Now he leaves and go to LA. He's jealous of Kobe. And they win championships. The jealousy even continues to go further. He was jealous of little Penny. Then he tried to mimic that with the little Shaq thing. And, it was just, he couldn't allow someone else to have that moment. During the COVID, Shaq was at his house during the quarantine. Everybody's on the boats because they can't go nowhere, so they just partying on the boat. Then Shaq see his rich neighbors on their boat, and his boat was bigger than Shaq, and they was laughing at Shaq's boat. It's like, Shaq, you got to get a real boat. Shaq, next day, I want a boat. And they went and brought and delivered a bigger boat than the other guy's boat. That's who Shaquille O'Neal is. He's always competing with an ego contest. He feels like he's got to overcompensate and do this to stand out, to be boisterous. Dwight Howard. He didn't like Dwight Howard because of the Superman thing. And I'm Superman. I'm Shaq. I got the Superman emblem. I'm still. So he's not Superman. He might be right about that with Dwight Howard, though. But Dwight Howard, they went to the NBA Finals and actually won games. So he took the Orlando Magic to the finals and actually won some games. So they didn't get swept. And then you got swept by the Bulls. So it's like where Shaq should have been the most dominant player in the league and should have been that guy. He wasn't. He just wasn't. He was the dominant when there weren't no more big men in the league. There's no more big men. Okay, here comes Shaq. No, we got to stop that. We praising the guy getting shut down by Malik Rose and all. It's like, come on, dude, you had no real centers guarding you. The game had elevated past centers. They had moved on way beyond that. Even Jordan told you, Greg Ostertag and the Utah Jazz neutralized you in the playoffs. And they swept you. You're probably the most swept guy in the history of the NBA 75.
Take the guard Shaq and try to push that motherfucker around there.
I ain't Shaq. I ain't Shaq. But like I said, I ain't Shaq.
I ain't Shaq. I ain't Shaq. That was Michael Jordan's response. I ain't Shaq. So you can forget that. I ain't Shaq. So Shaquille O'Neal needs to stop. It wasn't what he said to Joker. It wasn't like he got the show called MVP, and he often talk about on the show his opinions or how he felt about something. And he felt Shea Alexander was MVP the whole season, and that was Shaq's opinion. But when you're interviewing Joker, nobody's mad that you brought it up. Like I'm not mad or offensive to the way Shaq brought it up, and he felt even though he's got 3 MVPs, he was a better player than Joker. He's not better than Joker because he couldn't do none of the things Joker could do. All Shaq could do was dunk, and that was it. He had no moves. Now, after that, everybody loves Shaq personally, like personality wise. He's a great guy, but he's real super sensitive about everything. And it's like, it don't make any sense. And it was the tone and how he delivered the interview with the Joker, and the Joker don't really care about MVPs or any of that stuff. So even when he was interviewing him, the Joker made light of it and made fun, because it was Shaq's tone. Like, yeah, I think Shea Alexander was MVP. Anyway, congratulations to you. Anyway, it's like, dude, it was his tone that made it like aggressive and not cool. So if anybody had any complaints about it, it would be Shaq's tone. Shaq's tone was way out of line for something like that. That was too trivial. You could have done that way lighter and said, well, I want to congratulate you. Me personally, I had Shea Alexander winning, but you won the award, and congratulations to you guys, man, and to you, your team, y'all success. Y'all still in the playoffs right now, and good luck to you. It's your tone, it's your delivery. Shaq delivery was so bland, like he didn't even want to do it. So it's like, dude, if you don't want to do it, just don't do it. No one was asking you. The man they gave him the award. Hell, I thought Luka should have got it. With the numbers he put up, like, damn, I'm shocked to see somebody put up those kind of numbers and not get MVP. That's just incredible. But the league has changed, so it is what it is. Plus, the media don't like Luka. He's not really press friendly with some of these guys. They don't like the way he yells at officials and all this. And you got people who have never played the game making decisions on the game. And that's part of the problem. So, like I said, I was going to keep this short. Shouts out Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Welcome to HDII TV. Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez. And then we have the Dreamers Pro, Ticket TV, Armando Black TV, the Star Report, everybody who's doing the real work out here. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon, which is KARCENO for Life. Subscribe here if you didn't already. And I'm out the door. Blessings.